sad day, man. It's the I can't believe it's the Wombat. It's the 30th anniversary.
That's insane.
Of Bud Holland crashing this B-52. So, being 30 years ago, I mean, everybody knows the story, right? Lieutenant Colonel, rogue Lieutenant Colonel, if you will. He did a lot of unsafe stuff in the B-52, and he never really got disciplined for it. And eventually, it killed him. And I think, 4 or 5 other, four other guys perished with him. So, if any good came out of it, it highlighted basically a lot of deficiencies in leadership. Shocker.
Glad we fixed those.
Yeah, glad we fixed that. Well, the scary part is, you would think like, okay, this can never happen again because it's such graphic footage, right? I mean, dude, he's knife edging this B-52, and it's practice for an air show.
Yeah,
and
there's no chance this works out from early on in the video. Like, it's so obvious,
right? And I mean, Doug, scroll up a little more. Look at this. I mean, look at the destruction on the ground. No, sorry, the other way.
Yeah,
I mean dude, there right for it. Just mushes into the ground, right? One of the doors pops off as, one of the guys tries to eject, but it's too late. And it's just like, it's a heartbreaking story because if you look, they say, it's all Swiss cheese, right? Things kind of line up. If you just look at Holland's history of breaking the rules, just basically dangerous flying with this kind of airplane, totally preventable. And it wasn't prevented, and these guys paid with their lives and, destroyed an expensive piece of equipment. And it's just very sad that it happened. And, I guarantee you, man, 30 years, it's been 30 years, but, the families and friends are still affected by it. And that's the sad part,
Yeah, 100%. I mean, it's it's funny. You sent me the links and I was like, it can't be this. And I clicked on it and I was like, it's so, somebody wrote it, and I had heard this, and I'm not super smart on this, but like the original crew wouldn't fly with the guy. So it wasn't it like a skipper and what we would call a skipper stepped in.
Yeah.
And it was supposed to, it's like,
they like, at lower levels, they tried to mitigate his behavior, but the perception was, well, leadership lets him get away with this stuff because it was multiple things.
There's that L word that we throw around that people don't know the meaning.
Leadership.
Yeah.
And nobody would step in to stop him. And so, they just, they kind of threw their hands up like, well, if they don't care, I don't care. And it even talks about, he was even influencing the younger new pilots on doing dumb, dangerous, and different stuff, right? The 3 things we're never supposed to do: dumb, dangerous, or different. And it was just bad, and I'm sure Bud was a great guy. I'm sure I don't know him personally. I'm not bashing him personally, but his performance as a military pilot got some people killed, and it didn't have to. And it's just it's crazy to think it's 30 years ago, man. I don't know. Doug, you said you remember it, man. You got any thoughts on this one?
It was the first time I ever heard the phrase normalization of deviance. And
oh yeah.
The buffs are so big. It was just so dramatic to watch.
Yeah.
I can't unsee the video.
Yeah. And like Wombat said, you knew from the instant you saw it, like there's no way it's coming. That's just going to happen now.
It's too far.
That was really awesome.
And it's sad they didn't punch earlier, honestly, because I think, there's that, and they've done case studies on that, right? I'm sure this guy thought he could pull it out. That plane was long gone before it was anywhere near. So,
what if it to death? It's just sad. Like you said, Doug, it's like such a massive. And the thing though, I think it mentions it. This article talks about. It has like all of the things that highlighted him as a dangerous pilot, and it's pretty eye-watering. But this I can't remember the date off the top of my head, but right, the C-17 that crashed getting ready for the air show in Alaska, was that right? Is that right? I think Washington. I don't know. The C-17 that crashed getting ready for the air show. Kind of similar stuff. Hot dogging it at low altitude in an airplane that you probably shouldn't be doing that stuff. And
dude, you were a demo pilot. Like there's. I was never a demo pilot. The Navy was smart enough not to let me do that. But like everybody knows about my flybys with the E2 and what Nasty talked about. And I pushed the envelope, but you did it in a way that it was progressive and you learned from each thing and all that. But I guarantee you there were times when you were doing demo stuff where you probably pushed harder and was like, that was close, and you backed off and went, okay, I learned my lesson on that, you know. And it's just, some people don't, you know, and it's like,
yeah.
and,
Well,
and I hate to say it, and I am not trying to stereotype different communities, but dude, some of these guys and girls that didn't get jets, they're always going to fly it like it's a jet. And it's like, dude, it's not. It's not.
Oh, I've read it before. He flew it like a fighter. I'm like,
yeah, it's
that's
like, but
dangerous.
you didn't, because it's a B-52. It's not a fighter. Yeah, it's sad.